be in trouble.
Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and my guest today is Greg Snider, the president of the Thunder Bay District Injured Worker Support Group. Greg, welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So Greg, let's just start a little bit with some personal history. Are you a local boy, or are you from Thunder Bay?
Well, I've been in Thunder Bay for about 30 years. I actually grew up in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force, so we traveled around Canada. And I got a job up here when I graduated from college and started work the first day and met my wife the first day of work. So it's quite nice.
You come to a new town to start a new job, and the first day there you meet your future wife.
Love at first sight. Yeah,
oh my
absolutely.
gosh, is that synchronicity or what? There's a number of stories of people ending up in Thunder Bay almost by accident, and and so no second thoughts. You've made your life here in Thunder Bay.
I haven't had second thoughts. She may have had a few.
I don't mean about the marriage.
Oh, okay. No, Thunder Bay is good. It's been good up here. It's been very good. No second thoughts at all.
And so, what was that first job? Where did you start?
I started out at the Northwestern Regional Center, which was the part of the Lakehead Psychiatric Hospital, and working with people who had developmental disabilities. So that was my first job, and then when that closed, I got a job working at the Ontario Disability Support Program, and I worked there for about 13 years until I retired. And in my retirement, I'm working at Community Living Thunder Bay doing a night shift at one of the group homes, which is sort of going back to what I was originally trained to do, working with people with developmental disabilities. That was nice.
So you've been in kind of that helping profession your whole career.
Yes.
From frontline as well as kind of administrator with Ontario Disability Support Program and back to frontline service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And so you're also the president of the Thunder Bay and District Injured Worker Support Group. Tell me a little bit about that group. What do they do?
Well, the Thunder Bay Injured Worker Support Group, we support injured workers, and we also lobby for change within the government, and we make recommendations. We've met with the Tom Tehan, who's the head of WSIB, and made several suggestions about how they could do their job better. And some of those ideas are actually starting to working on implementing. So we're very excited about that. We've also talked with Minister Flynn. We've had 3 or 4 occasions to meet with him.
Minister of
Labour with the Ontario government.
Okay.
So that's been very good the last, that really has been going on for the last 3 years maybe. And so that's been very positive change in being able to be listened to and have some of our ideas start to be implemented is very exciting.
So the group operates as a voice of the injured workers, working with the decision makers in the government and the workers' compensation.
Yes, and sometimes working against them because trying to push them to where they need to be, and that's been for all the years we weren't making a lot of progress. In the last 4, we seem to have started to be listened to and make some progress. I don't know if we're getting better at lobbying or they're getting better at listening, but either way, it's good to see. And we also do some support. We do monthly public meetings, and we invite injured workers out to those meetings, and we have people who have done research, sometimes speaking, sometimes we have people talking about how to deal with pain. We have Master Peng talking about the stuff he does around and how people can deal with their pain better. And sometimes we just sit in a circle and we talk about the issues that are bothering injured workers.
And that's really that support function to be both sharing information and support with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have something to drink there and some snacks. So people can sit and chat with each other and go over each other's stories and maybe learn from each other or share their experiences with each other.
And that's a regular event, you said?
That's every month. We do it except December, and I think August we don't do one. But outside of that, it's a pretty regular event.
And is there a regular schedule, or how can people plug into that?
It's the 3rd Thursday of the month. Right now we're at St. Paul's United Church on Waverly Street. So it's at 7 o'clock. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to be an injured worker or a family member of an injured worker to be there. Everybody's welcome. And we also, when I say support for injured workers, I'm also saying support for the families too.
So
we
it's
do a
the
lot of work on that.
third
front.
Thursday of every
Third
month,
Thursday
7 o'clock.
of every month, 7 o'clock.
And there's the coffee and snacks
Yeah.
provided.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the work you're doing with Tom Tian at the WSIB. What are some of the issues that injured workers experience that you're bringing forward?
One of the big ones is that we're seeing progress on right now is the lack of information that's being given out by WSIB. People are coming in and they really aren't being told what they're entitled to, what they're not entitled to. And you go to the support meetings and people are talking to each other, and somebody will tell the story, and the other worker will say, well, you know what, you're entitled to get coverage for this or for that, and they didn't know until then. And so we went to one of our meetings with you, and we said, you know what, you've got to give people information up front. And going on my ODSP experience, we have that. We have a wage responsibility form that people get. And we said, well, why don't you give them information up front? When they walk in the door, tell them what their rights are and tell them what they're entitled to get covered. Because it's the basics that you should be providing people with. So they're working on doing that right now. So that's a very positive thing. We've also had a long discussion about the extended appeal process. And we've discussed the fact that people should get some financial coverage during the appeal process because right now, WSIB appeals, some of them are taking years to settle. A lot of them are taking years to settle. And during that time, a worker is not getting any money. So which is fine if the worker doesn't win his appeal. But if a worker wins his appeal and was entitled to that money, I mean, you've put them through a whole lot of financial stress, which isn't necessary. And they're the ones least able to deal with that stress. WSIB can deal with that financial stress, and they can try to catch the money later on the appeals they lose. But the injured worker, the damage has been done by the time. They're taking years to get the money and stuff. They're losing homes, they're losing vehicles, their children may not be able to attend the university that they plan to attend or the college they plan to attend because the financial money isn't there for them to do that anymore. And that's real damage that really affects injured worker. And an injured worker is somebody who's dealing with, could be a lifetime injury that he didn't have before. So he has other issues emotionally that he has to deal with and he has to come to terms with. And you pile on to that the financial hardship. It's just too much. Whereas WSIB, it can bear that cost and they can get the money back. The ODSP deems income a certain percentage until they get their money back. There's nothing stopping WSIB from doing the same thing. And they're in a financial position where they can do that.
And is this a common thing that people have to go through an appeal process to get their claims recognized? Or
I think it's pretty common from what I've talked to. I think a lot of people, even at the local office level, I mean, the decisions are being made and that don't reflect the own person's history of WSIB. So that a person gets approval for therapy for their shoulder, and then one day they go in and ask for it because they need it again because they get tendonitis, and the person gets turned down. And they go, well, hold it, you've approved it to me before, nothing has changed, you know it's going to come back. And they have to, again, go in and fight for something that should be, simple look at the file, you know that person's entitled to that. But it seems for some people it's just a constant battle to get stuff from WSIB.
Okay, we're going to have to hold it right there, Greg. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.